Sean. Well, I have the great job of thanking Larry Bennett from Autumn Chrysler Plymouth and Bennett Motors. This was Larry's idea to trade the Jeeps for the trucks, and we can't thank him enough. Our community is as vibrant as it is because of the great partnerships and collaboration, and the fact that he stepped up to do this again speaks volumes about his heart and how he wants our community to be safe and how he wants to help young people in our community. With that, I'd like to introduce, I think, the best school superintendent in the state of Indiana, the head of the EBSC, Dr. David Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. I would like to echo the Mayor's comments. You know, we do live in such a phenomenal community because of the partnership, because leaders in the community care about each other and care about our students. These things just don't happen everywhere, so we are truly blessed to have this in our community. I also want to thank law enforcement, both EPD and the Sheriff's Office. They are certainly in this for the right reasons. We are so blessed to have them in our community too. You hear about strife in other communities, and you don't hear that here because they are so oriented toward servant leadership. So if you want to look up the definition of servant leadership, look at the guys standing behind me, and they are, I think, the epitome of doing it for others. So what a great partnership. Also want to, as I said, thank Larry Bennett Motors, and Autumn Chrysler. This is a phenomenal opportunity for our kids. It's nice to be able to look at the front of the trucks when the lights are shining. I don't really like to see the lights shining behind me, so I'm going to finish and conclude my part and turn it over to Sheriff Wendy.
Thanks, Dr. Smith. It's always great being a part of a community that gives, and they've said before, but Larry Bennett is unbelievable. He won't even come up and take public acknowledgement for the great gifts that he's given to law enforcement. We're lucky here that the Sheriff's Office and the Police Department has a great partnership. We work well together. And one of the largest resources we have in our community are our students that we deal with every day, and our officers that we have to interact with those students, because I believe the future of our community is based on the children that we're raising and bringing up. They're either going to do well and help us prosper, or they're going to bring us down. So I think it's very important to get into the education system and work with students, build relationships, trust and bonds, and we hope that those carry over in their adult life. We're fortunate that we do have a working relationship, and these vehicles, you know, they may or may not mean much to many people, but to the students, it will identify their school with their officer, or in our case, our deputy, and they can feel proud to have that in and on their campus. So we can't thank Larry Bennett enough. I want to thank Chief Bowler for our great relationship with the Evansville Police Department, and I'll turn it over to Bill.
I've said numerous times over the years that I've been in this position that I was a school officer at Ballsy High School years ago, and I loved that role. I've seen firsthand the importance of interacting with students and trying to come up with new ways to get the students to interact with us. You know, any of us in law enforcement are smart enough to know that a lot of times to kids, especially high school kids, a police officer is in a cool position or somebody they want to talk to or hang out with. So having a vehicle like this, something that kind of draws their attention or makes our officers at the school a part of them. These students can relate to these vehicles. They have pride in them, we have pride in them. So I can't thank Larry enough for this, but I wanted to thank a few other people also. I joke about the Aries because Gary Jossa is who introduced me to Larry Bennett several years ago. He's the one that came up with the whole choose not to lose idea. So Gary, I'd like to thank you. Terry Moore is our designer. He did all the design work for these, and I think all of us can agree that they're beautiful. And then of course Larry, everybody's hit on that, but we can't stress enough. And he's such a humble man. He wants no recognition. He refuses to come up or for me to even point him out and something like this. So he's hiding here in the hall somewhere. He's probably down in Penny's right now, but great guy. And I can tell you, when we first sat down and talked about this a few years ago, the number one thing he wanted to know is, how does this benefit a kid? How's it going to help kids? Not how am I going to sell a vehicle or what kind of recognition I'm going to get, but he's very into the kids and making sure that it's going to be something that reaches them and helps a kid. So one of the other things that he has told me here recently And we've got the Chief of Police from Henderson in here right now. He's working with them right now, and we may expand this program to Henderson. And there's also one other community close by that may get this program also. So, yeah, they didn't want me to say it. I've got somebody yelling out who it is, but I'm not supposed to say it yet. So anyway, the Choose Not to Lose program, I wanted to hit on a couple things before we fold here. Our former chief, Brad Hill, is an artist, as many of you know. He's designed these folders. We've got them down here if anybody wants one. We've got a little activity book. And the whole theme of this Choose Not to Lose is teaching kids to make positive choices. Everything they do revolves around a choice. Whether you graduate high school, whether you start doing drugs, whether you drink, whether you bully people, every one of us have a choice in everything we do. And so we're trying to pound that home to kids about making positive choices. And so we've had these books made, these folders made. Our school officers, when they do the officer-friendly talks, they give these things out to the kids, and they stress these simple things of choices when they talk about some of the other topics. And this year, our officers have done talks on emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse to younger kids, teaching them how not to have these things happen to them, what to do if these things unfortunately have happened. We also have a program we're doing where we're teaching kids about what to do if they find a gun laying around in a closet on a street. And unfortunately, in today's world, we do have people that run from the police that throw a gun. And we don't want a kid picking one of these up. All over the country, you hear stories of kids finding a gun and something bad happening. So these are some of the programs we're doing in the schools. Pictured below here, we've got an emblem that says Choose Not to Lose. That's kind of a spin on our Choose Not to Lose. That's a summer camp that we've done with the Sheriff's Department, the Prosecutor's Office, and our FOP lets us use the facilities we have out on the west side. But we have 6 3-day camps that we do out there where we immerse these kids in different things and try to teach them about making positive choices. For anybody in the Vanderbilt County schools, we'll be sending stuff home through the school for incoming 5th and 6th graders here in the next few weeks for them to sign up. The camp is free, but it's on a first-come, first-served basis. And the kids do have to make their citizenship, and that's part of the making positive choices. We want to reward kids for making the right choices, for doing the right things. So parents, we'd encourage you to watch for these things when they come home from school. And then lastly, we also have a Choose Not to Lose basketball league. This will be our 3rd summer that we've done that. I think there's a very minimal cost, like maybe $10 or something. It's very cheap. We're just trying to recoup enough to pay for the t-shirts and pay some of the officials. But we'll also send things home from the schools telling kids about this league. The league will be during the summer, but if you've got kids interested in basketball, encourage them to do this, because we not only play games, but each week before or after the game, the coaches will do a little learning segment about making positive choices. So anyway, we're proud of these trucks. We just wanted to show them off. Let me stress one more time, like we said a few years ago, these are not funded by taxpayer dollars. These are funded by private citizen Larry Bennett. We did not ask to upgrade from the Jeeps. We were very happy with them. This is all his idea to replace them. Can't say enough about what a great guy is. So Bennett Motors, Automobile Chrysler Center, we owe you a lot for this, and I'd encourage everybody to check the truck out, mingle with them, and then next week they will be out and about at the schools. So thank everybody for coming out. Appreciate it.